morning, guys. This video I'm going to show you how to lay out your final tattoo. When I was thinking about inspiration for my tattoo, I thought what better than to incorporate my interest during this whole time of quarantine, which has been gardening. During this time I've grown about 60 tomato plants from seeds. This is a cherry tomato and he's just about ready to go outside on May 15th. For now he's staying inside with me. This is a cucumber plant that I actually have grown inside of a soup container. Since we've been stuck at home, I've had to be creative about what I'm growing plants in, and it's just been a ton of fun. I think if you haven't ever gardened before, it's really amazing to watch these things grow from tiny seed, and also it helps reduce your need to go to the grocery store. It really kind of builds in some food independence during this time, and also things grown in the garden, they taste amazing. I would 100% turn my entire front yard into garden beds, but I think my neighbors will think I'm a little crazy. One day though, I'm gonna get there, I'm sure of it. So I was working on some sketches to figure out what I want to do that will relate to gardening, and this is what I have so far. A watering can. I just really like the shape of watering cans. I think they're very fascinating and visually interesting. I have a radish because that's one of the earliest crops you can grow and harvest. Right now, me and my husband have been eating a lot of the radishes that we've grown, and lettuce. That's the only thing in the garden that we can eat. Marigolds. This is a crop that I'm really looking forward to. Growing it for the first time, and I hope they're gonna come through because they're the most striking, beautiful color. And then I also thought maybe the idea of a hand trowel or a hand shovel. I like the way that this looks. It feels very balanced and symmetrical, but I feel almost like maybe it's a little played out. It's expected. The idea of the gardening watering can with radishes and a flower, I feel is more original, but it doesn't have as good of balance. So I'm a little stuck between the two. I really think this is a better option because I feel like it really looks like it could be an old school style tattoo. So I think we'll go ahead and draw this one, even though maybe it's not the most unique. We'll give it a shot. So I'm gonna bring you down to my drawing surface, and I'll show you kind of how we get this show on the road. If I'm gonna draw, should I draw a shovel? I just don't know. We're gonna follow our heart. We're gonna draw the watering can. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I don't want to make it too terribly big because this is just a regular piece of paper. I think I'm gonna sketch it out. Will that work for me? No, that's gonna be too big. Should I draw it sideways? Yes, we're gonna draw it sideways. So it's okay to, figure things out as you go. Don't feel like you have to get it perfectly right on your very first shot, because as long as you're drawing lightly, you can erase without any problem or worry. Alright, so a watering can is basically a modified cylinder, which means it has an oval for the top and a round curve for the base. We never want the base to be flat because that's going to look not three-dimensional. Now I'm going to put in my handle. Okay, and we'll put in the spout, I believe it's called. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't have a watering can. I haven't been able to get to store to buy a watering can, but it's on my wish list. Right now I'm just watering with a hose, which is fine, but I would like a watering can for my more delicate seedling. I don't like the angle of that. We're gonna change that. I think it's good for you to see that even someone who has drawing experience, years and years of it, I still erase. I don't just draw things perfectly on the first time. I think that's part of being a pretty good artist is, you know, being willing to erase and accept that it's not going to be perfect right away. It's the people who are unwilling to erase when they've made a mistake. That's not a good characteristic to have. Don't be stubborn in your artwork. Be open and willing to accept some change. Because that's really where you grow in life and in art. All right. This way. I'm just gonna kind of draw in maybe like a contour line that I can follow. I think I'll put a marigold over here. And then for radishes, where do I want to put that? Do I want to put it over here? I think that seems like that's kind of a lot of things happening in one area. Do I want to use an S-curve? No, I don't really want to use, well, maybe I do. Maybe I want to put a radish over here, and then have a marigold over here. This is all part of the process of figuring out where you want to put stuff. I think I want to have, in my drawing in my sketch, I have 3 radishes. I feel like that's almost like too much. Maybe I'll just try to simplify. Maybe I'll have 1 radish here. And I like the idea of overlapping so the radish goes on top. What I like about radishes is they have this wispy little root. The radish, the part that you eat, it actually is a root. And it's a tasty, spicy little root. You can eat the greens, but I tried the other day. I tried to put them on a salad. They taste gross to me. They're really bitter. When they're young, it tastes good, but their actual like adult leaves are kind of a furry texture, so it tastes bad to me. But if you're down for bitter flavor, I guess you could eat a radish top. My mom said you could make pesto out of them. Pesto has a lot of garlic, so I'm assuming maybe that kind of hides some of the funky flavor that I wasn't like totally vibing with. Okay, I'm digging this. That's kind of nice. I'm just gonna elongate that root because I like the idea of like breaking that border up a bit. Now for the marigold. I'm gonna have it so you don't see the stem coming in front because I feel like that's just like too cluttered. Okay, so I have this kind of outline. What I'm actually going to do, I think, I'm going to use my pencil to cover the back of this image with some graphite. I'm going to show you how to do a transfer. This is great for when your sketch looks kind of sloppy the way mine did. Alright, so I just covered where my drawing is in graphite. You can see there's some spaces what I didn't color, but that's just because there's no drawing there. Now what I'm going to do, I've got a fresh piece of paper and I've got my drawing. So I'm going to lay it so I'm looking at my drawing. Now what I'm going to do, using hard pressure, I'm going to trace over all the lines. And this is going to make the loose graphite on the back of the paper transfer onto the new piece. That sounds a little confusing, but it's going to make like a little print on the back. And it only really does it if you press kind of hard. So here's what it looks like. It's just a lighter version. Now what I'm going to do is just fill in a few areas that I missed. So I think for today, I'm gonna call it here. This is what final image looks like. That's what we have. I feel like it looks pretty unified. I have 3 or more symbols. I have the radishes, the lettering can, and the marigold. I think for now it looks good. I like it. So that's kind of a little bit of how I lay out a contour drawing. Thinking about composition, you saw my little practice sketches. You saw I was a little bit flexible once I actually got to going. And also you saw how to transfer your image. So now it's time for you to try. I'll talk to you soon.